Hey everyone, this is going to be the first in a series of videos that I've been thinking about doing that I don't believe I've seen somewhere else, and hopefully it will help you and help you make informed decisions. Basically, this is the things I wish I knew before I started concealed carrying. So this first video is going to go over some basic stuff, the primer to get you started for concealed carry. So at a bare minimum, there are 3 things you need in order to start concealed carrying, and we'll go over those right now. So we got this, we got this. First thing you need is a firearm. Since we're going to be messing with this firearm for demonstrative purposes, we're going to ensure that it is unloaded, no magazine in the well, empty chamber, no rounds anywhere on the table. Okay, so the first thing you need, the very, very first thing you need is a firearm. This is a SIG P320 in the, is this the compact or the carry size? It's one of those two. Compact medium, so I believe that's their carry size. This is a standard striker-fired firearm. It doesn't have a bobbed hammer like the 250. It does not have a safety. It does not have a decocking lever. The trigger pull is the exact same every time you fire this firearm. So, you need a gun. You need something to put your gun in. You need a holster. You need something to put your holster on. You need a belt. You do not need a belt. You need a gun belt. And I'm about to demonstrate the difference. Let's zoom in here, and hopefully this will show up for you folks. So, let's hold this up. You need a gun belt. Now, when you squeeze a gun belt, it does not collapse, okay? It holds the weight of your gun, and you cannot squeeze your belt shut. Now, I've used this belt for a while. If you can't tell, it's pretty worn. So up here at the front, I can squeeze it and I can collapse it. And that's fine. This part of the belt is not carrying the weight of the gun. But back here, I cannot collapse it. In the back, I cannot collapse it when I squeeze the belt. These are all important things. Firearms are heavy. You don't realize this until you start carrying one every day. Having a gun on your belt, loaded with ammunition, is heavy. So these are the 3 basic things you need in order to start concealed carry. Now, the issue here is a lot of people do not put the right amount of financial investment into the accessories. They'll go out and they'll buy a fantastic firearm, and then they will buy a crappy nylon soft holster universal thing that does not hold their firearm very well. These are the things that you should look for when you buy a holster. When you insert the gun in, you should hear some sort of clicking or locking, something that shows you that the firearm is securely in the holster. Also, you need to make sure the trigger guard is completely covered. You should not be able to get anything in here where the trigger is at. If you get something into the trigger, your firearm could discharge. You do not want your firearm discharged while it is pointed at your leg, your hip, your groin, depending on how you carry. Secondly, a belt. I was foolish and I skipped out on the gun belt part at first. I bought a nice gun, I bought a good holster, I just took a normal belt, Walmart, Target, whatever, and I was carrying. The difference when you choose a proper gun belt is night and day. I'm not just talking about concealability, I'm talking about comfort. The reinforced core of a gun belt makes carrying the weight of the firearm on your belt so much more comfortable, so much more concealable. Everything about your life becomes better. Just hands down, no argument, it becomes better. If your firearm is uncomfortable for you, if your firearm is not concealing very well, I would examine your setup. What's your holster look like? What's your belt look like? Where are you carrying? And what can you do to improve those things? Let's talk about cost. A good holster, $60 to $100. Flat out, $60 to $100. A good belt, $60 to $100. That's on top of your firearm purchase. You're looking at another $120, $200 just to properly carry in the most effective way possible. Let's discuss something else. Let's put these out of the way. We're going to need the gun for demonstrative purposes. Concealed carry will wreck your clothing. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up, but this is just a typical black t-shirt. You're not going to be able to see this, I don't think. There are holes in it. All over the back of this shirt, there are holes in it. Why the hell are there holes in it? The edges of your sights are generally not rounded very well. Your sights and the beaver tail and the grip on your gun are not covered typically when they're in your holster. So when you sit down, you've now got this effect on your shirt. Let's zoom in so that you can see it. My camera girl is on summer vacation with her mother. So you've got this effect on your shirt, especially when you lean back in your car. This whole section here just rubs, and it rubs against your sights. And a plain old cotton t-shirt, you wear a hole in it. It's obnoxious. It's a fact of life. You change to a different type of shirt, just realize that your shirts are going to get messed up. Use a full coverage holster. There are various ways you can mitigate this. Heck, if you're enterprising and you really feel like it, you can round the edges on your gun sights if that's what you want to do. Do things to maximize the effectiveness of your carry and to increase the longevity of your clothing. Depending on your holster, depending on your gun, it will also tear up your pants. So, this took less than like 3 weeks. These are Duluth Trading Company jeans, and if you know anything about Duluth Trading Company jeans, they are supposed to be rugged and manly and withstand wear. This is not a tiny hole. I can get my whole finger through it. How did this happen? Some types of holster do not cover the front of your gun. They leave a section uncovered, and your front sight will rest against your pants. And your front sight will be on like this. Let's bring it in again. Your front sight will be like this against your pants. And you're sitting on it like this, and it's just going to sit there, and it's just going to rub. It's the same thing with the shirt, only more so because you're sitting on it, like literally sitting on it. This is the part of the gun that sits on your ass. If you carry in that manner, if you carry appendix, you're probably not going to have that problem. I'm too fat to carry appendix. I would have to wear my pants far too high for me to be comfortable with that. Just not something I'm interested in doing. So, those are the first few things that I think that you should be aware of when you start concealed carrying. I'm not trying to turn you off to the subject. I think that it is important to be aware of the, not risks, consequences is a poor choice of words, of the effects of concealed carry on your lifestyle and on your clothes. And there are things you can do in order to make that better. Ripstop pants are a pretty good idea if you're going to be carrying a lot of the time. If you don't like that look, go with a holster that covers your gun completely. Where did that one go? Here we are. This Blade Tech holster mitigates that perfectly. The front of the gun is completely covered. There is no rubbing. The only thing you got here is right back here on your rear sight. It'll rub against your shirt. Honestly, I haven't found a mitigating factor to make that any better. So, there you go. That's step one for concealed carry, things I wish I knew. If you have any questions or comments, please ask below, and please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.